Hey YouTube, I'm Jerry Lowlife, and welcome to another episode of the entertainment industry. Hey guys, welcome to episode 13. I appreciate you guys' support. Thank you so much for checking out these videos. It's much appreciated. If you guys have any suggestions or anything, please get in touch with me. I love the feedback. And if you guys want notifications anytime I upload a new video here, just hit that subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell notification. That way you guys get notified anytime I do upload a new video. If you guys want to see these videos in real time, head on over to Facebook and just hit that follow button and you'll be notified anytime I go live at Jerry Lowlife Interviews. Anyways, without further ado, this was an interview with Shaun Jackson. He is a bass player and he's also an artist. So check it out, see what we talked about, and at the end of this video, in the description, I'll have all his socials. All right, guys, have a good one. Enjoy the video.
I remember listening to a lot of 80s, like the new wave stuff, Flock of Seagulls. Love and Rockets is another one that I remember as a kid listening to the radio at night, listening to that.
Okay, that's cool.
So yeah, a lot of 80s, a lot of 80s influence too.
Same here, man. I was surrounded by it so much. It was just like, how would it not be influencing? You know what I mean? I think for the major part, that was all like influencing growing up for me as well. But I think when I don't know, I think it was more or less when I really hit high school, like freshman year and stuff, is really when I started like digging myself into like my own, I guess, I'm trying to think of the right word, pursuing my own, like, thinking of the right word, like curiosity, like my own, pursuing my own curiosity in music. So other friends of mine, like before I got into Lowlife, I was playing in like an East Coast hardcore punk type band. And it was called Scowl, and we were more or less kind of like a sick of it all kind of thing. So I was listening more like hardcore punk, and I think there was a small time where, I don't know if you can relate to this or not, but like Metallica got introduced to me, and I was just like, wow, this is kind of cool because it's thrashy. It was the older stuff, and then later on it was like then Pantera came along, and I was like, whoa, this is even heavier. Like, this is crazy. And then, kind of giving off my age here, but like I used to go to my grandmother's and watch MTV, and this is when they had Headbangers Ball. And
I love that show,
dude. It was so awesome, and that's the first time I ever heard the most heaviest I've ever heard in my life, and it was Sepultura, and it was War for Territory, and I did not know what to think about it. I was like, oh my god, this is like, this guy possessed? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, I got really into that Chaos AD album.
Yes, me too.
Yeah, Territory was on that one.
Yes,
wasn't it? Yeah,
yes, it was.
God, it was a long time ago,
dude. It's crazy. It's crazy, like how insane. Like, it doesn't feel like it's been that long ago. It feels like it's just been, Jesus, I would say like it feels like it's been 10 years ago, but I don't know.
And everything is 10 years ago.
Yeah, everything's
the 90s were 10 years ago.
Well, it was like the beginning of this talk. I was all like, hey, yeah, man, so I've known you for about a decade, and you're like, dude, it's been longer than that.
Yep.
It's crazy, dude, how fast that passed. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I kind of went along the same road with that too. They're probably the same bands, especially like, so in high school, I had another really good friend of mine and a couple other guys in high school. Uh, we ended up forming just like a talent show band. We played some pep rallies and stuff, and I was with my friend John, and we were watching Headbangers Ball. And do you remember when Blind by Korn debuted on
Yes.
MTV?
Yes, I do.
Like we were sitting there watching that, and it was almost like a freaking Beavis and Butthead moment. We're sitting there watching it. We're like, oh, holy shit, this is gonna kick ass, you know. And then, oh, are you ready? And we're like, whoa.
Yeah, dude.
It just all kind of spiraled out from there.
I remember that, and I thoroughly remember like that's when like Rob Zombie and all that stuff started coming about too, and like
Mm-hmm.
you know, which was White Zombie, you know, and
Yeah.
when I heard White Zombie, I was like, dude, this is pretty crazy. Like it made me think like I've never heard. It was like almost like psychedelic metal. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it was
Like
good. I really liked it.
Rob Zombie came out with this whole like other type of sound for metal, and I was like, dude, this is so cool. And then like, of course, like Korn, holy crap, it was freaking awesome. You know, there was a whole bunch of things that were coming out that I was just like, dude, what's going on? This is crazy. Like,
Yeah.
holy crap, you know. So obviously we played in a band together. You before then, what were you doing before then? I was trying to remember. Who were you playing with?
Before Lowlife?
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I had a couple other friends that I was doing some jam sessions with,
Mhm.
and I can't remember if it was your cousin
It
that I was dating.
was.
Yeah,
It
yeah, she was
was.
your cousin, and
It
I
was.
was dating her,
It was Rob.
and she was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
probably, yeah.
Yeah.
She says you need to meet my cousin Jared. He's in a band, and I was like, okay, yeah, that's how we met.
That's
And I
right.
was like, should I play bass? Well, I'm
Yeah.
looking for one.
Yeah. I remember that now. Yeah. Absolutely. God, it's so crazy, man. Because I was trying to think of that earlier today. I was like, dude, what was the initial times that like we actually met, and how did that come about? And I kept
Yep.
thinking, and it kept rolling through my head, and I was just like, I could not think of it. And now that you said that, I feel like an idiot because I'm like, holy crap, this is like my own family, you know? I'm like, Jesus,
Oh,
it's
it was
crazy.
wild, man.
Yeah, it's been
Yep,
a
we met
minute.
up at the Music Box.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that is right. And that came along with Tony and Craig, you know, Craig, man.
Yep.
I actually kind of like looked for him, and I saw he was doing some type of production type thing. Now
Oh,
he's
yeah.
like, he does some kind of corporate, like he owns his own huge business right now
Oh, wow.
that does like all this lighting and audio and like all kinds of crazy. I'm like, give it to Craig, dude, to do that kind of
That's cool.
stuff. You know?
Yeah, I miss him.
Yeah,
That guy was um, like a literal party to be around.
dude.
Like anytime you're around him.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Didn't know
Freaking.
what the hell was gonna happen.
I mean, he was like, I'm a maniac, maniac, I know.
Yep. Jumping out of the car, nothing but his damn underwear on.
Dude, it was crazy.
You never
Crazy.
knew what the fuck was gonna go down when Craig was there. That was
Right.
great.
Right.
Well, good for him that he's got his own business and shit now. That's great.
Yeah. It's freaking awesome.
Cool.
Absolutely.
Last I heard, Tony was living in Texas.
Yeah, I kind of touched base with him a little bit just to see how he was doing. He seemed like, I mean, this was kind of months ago, but it seemed like he was probably going through some crazy times, you know, like we all do. But,
Yeah.
you know, he's kind of, seemed like he was kind of down, and I kind of let it be. And then, you know, I'll hit him up. I literally, it's small talk. I'll hit him up every now and then and just be like, hey, dude, how you doing? And he'll just kind of be like, yeah, I'm hanging in there, you know, it's good to hear from you, thanks for keeping, you know, just the genuine like thanks for keeping in touch kind of thing. But that's about it. Really don't talk too much. But
it's been a long time since I've talked to him.
Yeah.
My family's been like a huge support for me, like during all of this.
Nice.
You know, ever since I was like, Mom, I think I want to be a rock star. She's like, okay. So
Moms are awesome. Moms are awesome. I loved my dad. My dad was all like, he was just always like, you're not gonna make money doing music and blah 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 blah. And my mom's like, here, have a drum kit. Here, go do your thing. Like my mom was like always like, you're gonna do this. It's cool, you know. Like,
yep,
I mean, she was totally
yep.
into like Elvis Presley and all that stuff growing up. So she was like, I want to see my son be a little rock star. So I was like, it's freaking awesome. Moms are the best. So
Yep.
shout out to the moms, you know, thank you moms for freaking, you know, putting up with our
Yeah.
BS and believing in
Yeah.
us. So
Yeah, and feeding us
yeah, absolutely.
while we're trying to do this, not making money.
Right. What was probably like, and this doesn't have to necessarily be with like shows we played, you know, I know you did Sarah Forum and you had some other things too is going on as well, but was there like a favorite time, like a band that you got to open up for? Was there like a memorable show that you always were like, man, it was so cool, we got to do this show with them?
Well, we opened up for like a few national acts. The main one that comes to mind is In This Moment. Uh, but you know, honestly, I think the most fun came with just playing shows with the local bands.
Right.
Out of all the shows that I've ever played, the most memorable ones have always been with, you know, our friends in the local scene. Um, so really, I think probably my favorite show was I don't remember what year it was. I was in Seraform, and we played at um, Bricktown Live.
Okay.
Uh, you remember it was? I'm wanting to say that there was like two different locations for that,
Yeah,
but it was the
yeah.
one that had the second floor.
Yeah,
You know, and Mushroom Head played up on the second floor and all that shit.
that was
It was
this
whatever building that was.
that was the Bricktown Live, and that was, they had a downstairs and upstairs, and the upstairs was
Yeah,
like super scary because it was like a trampoline a little bit on the floor,
yeah.
and I think eventually that thing broke, and thank God it didn't happen when there was a show. But anyways, continue.
Yeah, so we were in the tiny ass downstairs area, and we were playing with Soul Crisis, and I can't remember the other bands, but that night we ended up having a really huge crowd that night in there, and it was wild because me, being an idiot, got drunk and started going to the bar, right? Like I went
Yeah.
to the bar, I was like, I need two Bud Lights, please, and they were serving them in those tall cans.
Yeah.
And I had a thing of duct tape with me, and I pounded one beer, dried it off, set the other beer on top, and duct taped it right there at the bar. These other dudes are looking at me like, and they're like, "What the hell are you doing?" I was like, "I'm making a wizard stick." So, and I'd start drinking it, and I told them, I was like, "Okay, you guys, you know, find you some tape, something. You drink a beer, put another one on top, duct tape it. When you finish it, just keep going, and we'll see whoever has the biggest one at the end of the night wins."
Uh-huh.
And they're like, "What do we win?" I was like, "Probably a hangover. I don't know." But so that night we got on stage. We started playing, and I look out there, and there's just like tons of beer cans taped together, waving around in the crowd. People were jousting with them, throwing them like spears and shit. And it
Holy
was like,
crap.
that was like the most out of control show that we ever played. And it
Wow.
was great.
That is crazy. I think I remember you saying something about the wizard sticks. Like I really, it's vague, but I do remember that, I believe.
The wizard sticks. Well,
Yeah.
I don't even know where I saw that from. There's probably some meme out there. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just tape them together and it's your staff.
That's awesome.
It was so dumb. We wasted so much duct tape.
Yeah, but you know, it was fun. You know what I mean? We weren't hurting anybody, you know? As long as we had designated drivers. That's the
Yeah.
thing, you know. But yeah, most of the times I remember we would all hang out. We would just freaking stay at like each other's places, like, I remember we used to come to your apartment sometimes, and yeah, that's
Oh
when
shit!
Craig would
You
get crazy
remember?
too.
Yeah, you remember that two-story house I was living in?
Yeah.
Uh, and we had that huge fucking house party, and everybody in Lowlife showed up. Everybody in, I think most of the people in Spooky Fruit showed up.
Yeah.
And there was a bunch of people out with motorcycles tearing the fuck out of the yard. And then the dudes from Blackgate came over, and that's
Yes.
when all hell broke loose. That's when
Yes.
shit just started breaking. People were throwing shit out in the yard.
All right. All
That was
right.
like, that was a huge mistake,
That
looking back on it. But
it was crazy, man. Those parties
that
were
was the
nuts.
wildest party ever.
Yeah, dude, those parties were insane. I remember the ones Ronnie used to have at his house, and people would be parking, like taking up the entire street, dude. And
Oh
like
yeah.
the freaking fish, like the aquarium that he had that was in his like dining room kitchen, like that small aquarium had more room than anybody in the entire house. Like you were nut to butt going into that house. It was so stupid. Like you could go in and go to the like from the front door to get to the kitchen. It would take like an hour and a half because you're like trying to push through people, and like it was just stupid. It was so dumb, man. I couldn't believe
Yeah, we
like
didn't give a shit. We
no.
didn't give a shit. We're just like, no, we want everybody.
Yeah. And you go to like the Diamond Ballroom, and this is like locally when we used to have at least 1,200 people at the show, and it'd be opening for like Mushroom Head, and there'd be like a sold out 2,400 people. And then Ronnie's out there like, so after party at my house, here's my address, and tell the address in front of everybody. And I'm like, oh my God, dude. Okay. Well, and I'm like literally surprised the cops never showed up.
Yeah.
Like, there was never, ever once a time the cops showed up. I was like, dude, that blows my mind. Like, holy crap, dude. Yeah, we partied.
Yeah, that's yeah, I'm surprised none of us went to jail for anything,
Yeah. Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. It
Of
was
course, we could
crazy.
always just say, we're shooting a music video and probably get away with it, but
well, but at the same time, I wasn't thinking about it then, but I'm just like, we had drinks there, all kinds of stuff, and it was like, it wasn't like we were like checking people's IDs at the door.
No.
It was terrible. But what do you know? You're old. When you're older, you think about those things, and then when you're younger, you're just wanting to party and have fun.
Yeah, we were invincible.
Yeah, invincible.
We were not gonna die.
Right.
We were gonna live forever. We didn't care.
Right. I don't know if you were on this one with this or not. Were you with us when we did the when Lowlife went to, we played the Railhead in Lawton, Oklahoma with Element? Were you at that one? I think that may have been before you.
That may have been before me.
Yeah.
I remember doing the Railhead, but that was with Theory of Tangents.
Okay.
No, that was not with Lowlife. That was before.
Yeah, you would have remembered this one. This is like, we did a double header, and it was Element and Lowlife. And this was my crazy story. Was we played the show, like we headlined the first night on a Friday, and then the Saturday night we switched with Element, and we opened an Element like headlined. So the second night we get there's a person having their birthday party there, and it happened to be the head president of the Bandidos. And dude, 3 songs in that night, they sent one of the like smaller guys, one of their kids, to come up to us, and they whispered in Ronnie's ear and then walked away. And then Ronnie just kind of came back, and we huddled over by the drum kit. And everyone's like, what's going on? And Ronnie's like, well, that kid came up, and I guess their president said that we need to stop playing our songs right now, because if we don't stop, they threatened to kill me, and they said they would destroy everyone's equipment afterwards. And I'm like,
fuck that.
Holy crap. So we just packed everything up. And then, if you people that aren't familiar with the railhead in Lawton, Oklahoma, it's not too far from a military base. It's a pretty rough area. But for the most part, it's a good place to play shows. A lot of people come through there, but there's one way in and one way out. Like there's one door. So if you can imagine a place full of bikers and a mile and a half down the road, there's nothing but bikes, and you just got threatened and you need to get your stuff out of there. You're literally like parting the seas, like going through this crowd every time with every piece of gear with these guys just staring you down, and they hate you for life. And you're just like, dude, this is insane. But yeah, that was crazy, dude. That was probably like one of my craziest experiences playing with a band anywhere. I'm like, I figured if I would have said something, you would have been like, oh God, that show. Then I would have been like, oh, okay, yeah, he was there. I couldn't remember if it was you or if I think it was Ryan. No. Ryan, our original bass player. I think that was when I first started playing with Lowlife. That was crazy though, dude.
Yeah, but that was before me.
Yeah.
I probably would have shit my pants if I was there.
Dude, I practically was, but we parked across the street, and we actually sat there, and I was sitting there with Shane, our old guitar player, and we were in his car, and we were just like, dude, if something goes down, I don't know like if we can do much, but I don't know. We just felt bad because they're like, if those guys hate us, what are they going to think about Element, you know? And the funny thing about it is those kids of theirs, the younger group that was with them, kept coming across the street to us, and they actually liked our music. They didn't want to let their other parents know that didn't want us there, but they actually came across the street and started buying like they were buying CDs from us. It was hilarious. And we're like, oh my God, dude, they're gonna see us out here, they're gonna kill us. It was crazy, dude. Anyways,
don't be peddling your shit to my kids.
Yeah, it was crazy, man.
I wonder what they were expecting.
I
wonder what they were wanting. What do bikers listen to? What do they listen to back then?
Skynyrd, man. Play some Skynyrd. They loved all just the old school. Like I'm sure you could probably get away. The heaviest stuff you could probably get away with would probably be like Sabbath, stuff like that, you know. I don't know. I think most of it was like, you know, the Skynyrd and like all that, like just
Nazareth.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know. I thought for some weird reason you've always kind of been doing art for a while. Like even when we were in a band together, you always drew stuff and do that kind of things. But you started taking it pretty serious, and actually I mean, that's what I got from it, is you were taking it more serious, but I didn't know if it was like more of a serious note or if you actually started, just someone saw your stuff and was like, hey man, you should start like actually putting this out there. Like what came about with that? How did that get started?
Well, I mean, you're right. It's always been something that I've done. And that kind of took a back seat when I started playing in bands, playing guitars. I switched focus to music. And then I'm wanting to say maybe 5-6 years ago, you know, after I was done with all the band stuff, I needed a creative outlet. So I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll pick up doing art again. And I just started doing it. And then things that I taught myself and learned throughout high school and stuff in art class and everything just started coming back to me. And the next thing I know, I'm making these large paintings and just posting them out there, posting them in art groups on Facebook, posting them on Instagram. And slowly but surely, I started getting people more and more interested in them. And then there was, I think when it really took off was there was this art show. It was done at the 89th Street Collective. I don't know, is that still what that place is called?
Yeah, it still is.
This was I'm wanting to say maybe 2018 or something like that. It was an art show that was it was satanic themed.
Okay.
So it was like, yeah, okay, my art will fit in there. And I brought some stuff, put it up. A lot of people looking, and I actually sold uh, one of my larger paintings because of that. And I was like, okay, I think maybe I can actually do this. So I just kept at it, kept putting stuff out. There was a guy in New York that has his own like kind of private gallery, and
Mm-hmm.
he had this big old house, and in the basement he called it his Doom Saloon. He had a bar down there, and he's like, I like your artwork. I want it all down in there because that's where he put all that. So he ended up buying like 6 paintings from me.
Wow.
I ended up, and I'm not a graphic artist, graphic designer by any means, but I ended up doing some little things for his motorcycle that he had airbrushed onto his motorcycle. Um, and that right there kind of really kicked it in gear. And then I have a friend in Sweden that bought a piece from me. And then I started doing like portraits of my friends. I'd get a picture of them, I'd draw their portrait, except I would draw them as zombies or dead or whatever. So they'd have chunks of flesh missing and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
And the guy in Australia was like, hey, would you do me? I was like, yeah, send me a picture. And this guy was like so into it. He's like, I took like 5 different facial poses and stuff. And I was like, I like this one. I'm going to do it. And cool thing about this one is he said he had his jaw broke and it had it reconstructed. So he had a couple little metal pins stuck in his jaw.
Uh-huh.
So I ended up doing like a lot of skin missing on his jaw there, and I put those 2 little pins there. He absolutely loved it and flipped his shit when he saw it. So that's sitting in Australia. And
That's
then,
cool.
um, and then I got contacted to do a dark art show in Germany, and that was, I don't remember what year that was, but oh, I have it right here. That was in 2017. The double picture that you had on rotation on the intro there,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that was sent to Hamburg, Germany, and it was displayed in a dark art show that was in a boat that's been like anchored in harbor.
Wow.
In a harbor, and that, yeah, they had an art gallery in there, a lot of weird artwork in there, and they also had some German bands in there playing. And if I could have gone to Germany to see that, I would have loved to have done that.
Dude, that
But
sounds super cool.
yeah, it's pretty wild. The curator for that ended up buying that piece from me and keeping it for herself. So,
Oh, okay. I'm kind of
so
going
that's
through
sitting there.
some pictures that you have. So I kind of threw this on. That's from your Instagram and everything. Just kind of going through the gallery. Just I don't know if you can see any of these that I'm doing right now.
Yeah, I can see him.
But yeah, just kind of going through them. Some of the stuff that you've done here,
Some weird dark landscapes.
Yeah, it's cool,
It's
dude.
mostly dead stuff, but
Hey,
it's there's a market out there for it, and surprisingly, dark art is a very there's a very large following for it.
right,
People people really love it.
right.
You
That
either love it or you hate it.
right, right, yeah. There's a lot of people I know that like this stuff too. And it reminds me too of there's a lot of European like venues that I actually went to that I on tours. I would see stuff that was very similar to this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like they
Mm-hmm.
would have these kind of things. It's more popular than like what a lot of people think. But
Yeah,
it's really cool stuff, Shaun. I've
thanks,
I've
man.
always
Appreciate that.
I've always thought it's pretty cool. Because not only is it just I like the dark stuff, but also like it's real unique in its own way, you know. And people always feel like I don't know. I always thought it was just really, really kind of cool. Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. I just feel like the darker art is just um, more real. You know,
Yeah.
it, like it's a more real emotion than like the happier stuff. And I don't know. Maybe that's because like I've like suffer depression, anxiety, and shit like that. I guess maybe I don't know. That just feels more real to me than
I get that.
you know.
Well, because there's a lot of things in life people don't embrace or talk about much, because I think everyone, and this may be just my own thought, you can agree with me or not, but I always think that seeing these type of things, it's beautiful because in a sense it kind of lets us know that we are like not going to live forever. We're not.
Yeah,
It constantly reminds you to embrace every day and do the best you can, because at the end of the day we all end up in the ground. You know what I mean? Like there's going to be a day where we won't be here per se anymore. And I think that's why I like the dark art, because not only does it look cool, but I think it's just it's got cool messages to it in its own way.
yeah,
And that's just generalizing,
yeah.
my
No,
thoughts.
I would agree with that. It's a good motivation to uh, try and enjoy things.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know.
Yep. But even in departure, it's freaking just a beauty in itself. And that might
Mm,
sound really dark, but to a lot of people, but I firmly believe that it is. It's beautiful, because
yeah,
it's almost something. It's like that moment, that person, that thing, this place is at peace. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And that's the way I look at it. So,
yeah. A lot of memories, stories, things that happen all the way up until that, and then yeah, and then it's over. And I think at that point, I mean, you don't have to pay bills anymore. You don't have to worry about taxes.
right.
You know, shit
Yeah.
like that. You don't have to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trying to put a little bit of a comedy spin on that, but
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
not able to party anymore. But fuck it, I don't have to pay bills. That's good.
Don't have to pay taxes. Yeah, you don't have to worry about buying food anymore that are
Yep,
going up.
can't use it.
Gas prices, or if we can, doesn't matter anymore. They can be as high as they want to be because you don't have to worry about gas prices anymore. A lot of things go away.
Yep, it's yeah, but I find that
Oh,
subject death like pretty fascinating, and I think what's even more fascinating is that different cultures have different ways they deal with it, and some of them are pretty out there.
yeah,
I mean, like I couldn't imagine. Uh, there's some cultures out there that will actually pull their dead relatives out of the burial thing that they put them in,
mhm,
dress them up, clean them up, take pictures with them, have dinner with them, and stuff like that.
right,
And it's just like, wow, that's like so far removed for what we do like here in America, in the
yeah,
US,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and it's like, man, it's like they're still partying with their family, they're still
yeah,
having dinner with them and stuff. It's fascinating to me. I think it's
yes.
really, really fascinating.
So you bringing that up triggers a memory of mine too, because I got to see that in like full-fledged HD real life. And
Yeah.
is when I went to China. um we were happened to be like walking through, and there's like an old cemetery, and there's literally like a cemetery that's dedicated out there to where their loved ones are buried, but they are buried with plexiglass over them, so
Oh
they
wow.
literally can go and hang out and see them, as they're there and as they lay. So it's like, and then the cemetery was just full of families, because when I went there, I was in Shanghai, and we went during Golden Week, which was like a festival week for them. like a whole week, so it wasn't as like populated as I thought it would be. And I asked him, I was like, man, I thought this place was going to be nut to butt, like, because China's got a lot of people. And they were like, no, actually a lot of people leave at this point in time because you guys are playing during your festival time was during their holiday week, which was called Golden Week. So a lot of people flew out all over the country to see families. And so while I was walking through, I was like, wow, this is odd, and I asked the local that was with this that could translate Mandarin and English, and they were just like, yeah, they're visiting their families, and they're literally sitting in these graveyards, and I'm like, oh wow, and he actually had us walk by those areas. And then that's when I didn't even, at first I thought they're just kind of hanging out in the graveyards, but then when we went through there was actually tons of graves that were just had plexiglass over them where you could actually see them. And I'm like, wow, dude, that's a whole other level. Like, I had no idea it was like that. It's cool. It is what it is, but like, it's good to like be like, holy crap, it's not just like our own thing. Like everybody has their, there's so many different ways people interpret the afterlife, if you want to say, or how they still talk to families in that sense. So the art's really awesome though. I really think that's cool that you stuck with something, through all the things that you've been through lately, like in the last years, you know what I mean? Like, even though it's not been tours and like, we haven't been playing music and doing that type of stuff. I started getting back into it like a few months ago. And I noticed that you posted something about you wanting to start getting back into music as well. Are you going to start doing that?
I'm gonna try to.
Okay.
It's like I've after I quit doing the Terraform thing, I sold some equipment and bought a machine, Native Instruments machine, and I started making some electronic stuff. And I
Okay.
actually did that for about 5 years. I got a whole bunch of like junk on SoundCloud. You remember SoundCloud?
Yeah. I still have my
That's like
stuff on SoundCloud.
I don't even know if I can still get into my SoundCloud, but I have a whole bunch of just junk on there.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I stopped doing that. Switched over to try and focus on a career and making real money. Um, but my son's actually really into making electronic music, so I've kind of like vicariously lived through him, watching him learn and just getting a lot of joy watching him create music,
I bet.
putting stuff out there, and I'm like, God damn, why am I not doing this?
Right.
So yeah, finally got moved, settled into this place, and decided to blow the dust off of one of my MIDI controllers and start doing it again.
Wow. That's awesome, dude. I'm glad, man. Like, I feel you on that, dude, because you're trying to focus on I was kind of talking to you about like some of the personal things that changed for me touring and that transition, dealing with family members passing away and then taking care of a sister
Yeah.
and whatnot. Life just happens, and it happens for everyone. And it was real hard for me too to like go back to that because I don't know if you ever met Shane, which was one of the original guitar players with Lowlife, but he recently moved back to Oklahoma City a few years ago because he was dealing also with his mother, dealing with cancer and stuff, and she passed away at a point, and he decided to stay here in Oklahoma, and
Hmm.
he came up to me one day and was just like, "Hey, man, do you want to start playing again?" He's like, "You're literally one of the only people like I feel comfortable just hanging out with and playing. I just had some depression and I feel like music might like help a little bit." And I was kind of scared to do it at first because I don't want to commit to something and then like it turned into like, because it turns into a job, and it's like
Yeah.
I've already got a job, and I just made that clear. I made stipulations. Like I was like, dude, I don't need another job. I have a job. if anything, this is a hobby and it just needs to be a no pressure situation and it just needs to be fun. That's literally all it needs to be. And it's been that way. And it's been great, dude. I've been happy because if you can't make it to a practice, cool. If you can't freaking
Yeah.
something, there's no pressure. It's just great, dude. So yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
it'd be good to see you doing that stuff again, man. Like, I enjoyed some of the things that you were doing. Like you would send me the SoundClouds and it was just cool to hear you doing stuff, man. It was awesome. So I hope you do
Yeah,
start doing
I
it
think,
again.
yeah, I hope I can, well, I need to make the time for it. That's the thing.
Right.
But I think you hit on it really hard though about it being fun and not being a job.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the main reasons why I got out of it. And
Yeah.
looking back, I think I was one of the people putting that kind of pressure on other members. And uh, yeah, you get in that, we have to do this strict schedule. And you're right, it does turn into a job, and nobody wants a, quote, job.
Right.
It's not fun anymore. And it's just like,
Right.
fuck it. I'm
Right.
tired of doing this chore.
Yeah. And it consumes you because not only does it consume you from the business aspect of it all, but everyone's passionate. When you get in a band, you're just passionate about it because it's something that you're putting out there. It's something you've contributed time to and everyone else has. So you want it to be the best thing ever, and it's
Yeah.
it's just it becomes that consumption that and that perception that you have to be that way in order to show that you care about it, which is false. It's like
Yeah.
it shouldn't be that way. It should be just a passion. It should be a love, and it should be just the fact of getting together with brothers and sisters and having a good time at the end of the day, So,
Yeah.
but to
For
each their
sure.
own, to each their own. But
Yeah. The expectations get really damn high.
yes,
And
they
then
do.
the more you play, the more people come out and see you. The higher those expectations get, and you start losing the fun aspect of it.
Right. Absolutely.
And then earlier, before we started this, you said it was like winning the lottery to make it big, and you're absolutely right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You go in with the expectations of, I'm gonna tour the world, and get ready
Right.
for a really hard disappointment.
Right. And I don't think I actually really realized how hard it really is until I actually started working for the bands that I worked for. You know what I mean? Like to me, these bands weren't like stupid epic, like, they weren't gigantic huge to uh, most of the world, but in my eyes I thought they were the greatest, you know what I mean? And they had their
Mm,
moments, so I didn't work for small bands per se, but you know uh, there are some out there that were having to share freaking buses with other bands just to make ends meet, man. And you're just
yeah.
like, are you freaking serious? Like that's the kind of that's the industry it is right now. It's tough. Nobody buys albums anymore, you know what I mean? It's all
Hmm.
royalties are done through concerts and touring now and merchandise. Like that's literally how you make it. And if a band like that's struggling, a Shaun like a band like Lowlife we were in, dude, holy crap, we would have been
Yeah.
like, we would have been eating peanuts, you know what I mean? And freaking like playing
You'll be
banjos on the
stopping
freaking
on the,
side of the street, being like,
yeah.
beat us.
We'd have a steady diet of bugs or some shit. 'Cause
Pretty much. But it was fun, we got to play with some cool bands, man, and do some fun things and make some good memories, that will never be taken from us. So
oh, for sure.
I thoroughly
If anything,
enjoy
it's
those.
worth it for that. Uh,
Absolutely.
but sustaining it, oh,
Oh God.
and then yeah.
Hats off to all those guys doing that right now, man. Seriously, it's just so brutal. Well,
Yeah,
cool.
sharing a bus. I couldn't imagine what that would smell like.
Dude, I mean, some weren't so bad, but I think the worst ones, but the most fun was Bleed the Sky. Bar none, like even touring with Fear Factory, Devil Driver, Cobra and the Lotus, freaking even the Kiss Def Leppard tours, freaking all of it. If I were to pick my favorite times ever touring, would probably be Bleed the Sky, because it was like the band plus a few of us crew, like 8 guys in a van for months at a time. I was making like $20 a week, dude. And I was making more than the band. There was times where I was like taking my $20 and buying us like ramen so we could all eat. Like, it was stupid. Dude, there was times, like, I think on an interview not too long ago, I was talking to, I can't remember who it was, but and I don't care, I'll admit this, because it's the truth. And I stole when I was in some gas stations, but it was like food. It was like freaking, I'm taking like peanuts and like stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because we were so broke, dude. We didn't have any money to eat. It sucked. And I didn't ever call my parents or anything because I didn't want them freaking worrying about me. I was like, I'm going to do this. I don't want to hear it when I get home, and this is what I'm going to do. So we did. We stole, and we freaking, and then just guys like Greg and Ryan that are in my chat right now that have been around forever, and I met them that way. Those guys helped us out so much, man. They freaking fed us and boozed us up and freaking made sure we had good times, man. And it wasn't just in like they're in the areas of Ohio and Indiana, but they would go to other places and meet up. It's crazy. It's amazing people out there, and I've made a lot of friends that way doing that. So it's awesome. Those are so getting back to that, waking up smelling people, like, dude, we weren't showering. We'd probably have like a shower maybe once a week if we were lucky. There would be some people that let us stay at their houses and we'd take showers there, or we'd stop at we'd have just enough money to go to like a Love's, and like freaking, they have the showers you can rent there. You know what I mean? Like that they have truck showers and stuff like that. There's one story I'll tell you real quick. Austin and I became really good friends with Austin. That was with Chimera, Bleed the Sky, and Devil Driver. We had Taco Bell one night, and I saved a burrito and put it underneath, like, it's a 15-passenger van. I put it underneath the seat and saved it. And I think we're in New Jersey, and I wake up and we're in like some gas station parking lot, and it's like a Monday morning, and like moms and dads are dressed nice going to work, and they got their kids with them. They're taking them to school, and here we are in this van, and we open up the double doors, and there's freaking like Gatorade bottles bouncing out of the freaking bay doors that are filled with piss and freaking like rolling everywhere. And we're crawling out of this crevice of nastiness, and people that haven't taken showers for weeks. And I'm, see everyone kind of walking out, going to use the bathrooms, whatnot. And I'm like reaching under to like find my burrito, and I can't find it. And so I look out, and I see Austin across the parking lot throwing Taco Bell packages away. And I like yell across the parking lot, "Dude, what are you doing, man?" And he's like, "I'm throwing a freaking Taco Bell stuff away. It stinks." And I'm like, "Dude, my burrito's gone. You threw my burrito away." And he's like, "Well, it smells like crap." And he's throwing it away. And like all these people in the parking lot stop and are like looking at us, and the kids are like scared. And I yell at Austin at the top of my lungs. I go, "Dude, once you threw that burrito away, you threw our friendship away." And it was so stupid. Like, that's just how crazy it was, man. And then he felt actually bad. He went inside and actually bought me a microwave burrito. And then when he was coming up, he's like, "Hey, man, sorry, dude. here's a freaking microwave burrito. And I was like, actually, I found my burrito. And he's like, oh, well. And then he takes it and starts eating it himself, and I don't know. It was funny, dude. But those stories,
So dramatic.
yeah, but those were the funnest times, man, because I think it was the struggle. You know what I mean? We were struggling together. You're not in a bus like falling asleep and wake up in a new city and falling asleep and waking up in a new city. There you were driving. You were seeing everything. You had to be awake. Like you could stop anywhere you wanted. You could, it was just fun. But it was a struggle, and I think that's what made it even better because you were in it together. I don't know. But
I think part of that struggle also makes you want to, like, I don't know, pursue it more,
Yeah.
It's like, if we don't do this, we're not going to eat. We need to eat.
Right. Yeah. Buy merch. Let's go.
Buy our shit.
Right. So, just a few personal questions. We're getting close to about a little over an hour. So like, small stuff, nothing like super personal, but if you could live have you ever traveled outside the United States, Shaun?
Actually, no.
Okay.
I have not.
So is in perception, I don't know, maybe you've read about things or been there or whatnot, or even have you traveled the US a lot at all? Have you been like outside at any states mostly?
Yeah, I've been outside of Oklahoma a few times.
Okay.
Not anytime recent,
okay.
Other than Texas,
Yeah.
But
if you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be?
That would be Sweden.
Sweden? Yeah. Yep. Nice. Yeah. Sweden's pretty badass, man.
Yeah, because the climate, I like cold weather.
Yeah.
But not only that, but the Swedes know how to fucking make metal music. I don't know what it is, what they do, but like most of my favorite metal bands are from Sweden. So I would go there and like try to hang out with them or some shit.
Freaking Meshuggah.
Yep. In Flames is out there.
I was fixing to say I love In Flames. So yeah. Dirk. So I got to become really good friends with Dirk, which now he plays drums for Megadeth. So
oh wow.
Yeah, I didn't know if you knew that, but yeah, Dirk is an animal. He is such a great, nice, super cool guy, but he is a animal behind the drums. The guy is absolutely incredible. If you could have a drink or share a coffee with a historical figure, who would you choose?
Ooh,
they could be alive or dead. People that just been around.
Figure.
Yeah, any person that you thought would be like awesome, like just chill with and like hang out, ask questions.
Probably, I don't know, probably one of those astronomy guys, Galileo or Copernicus or something.
Yeah.
Because when they first saw that shit, they probably had some wild ass ideas.
Yeah.
Discovering, stuff that's like not on the planet.
Right.
So I bet that would be an interesting coffee talk or something.
That would be kind of cool. Yeah, absolutely. So I think I know the answer to this, but would you consider yourself introvert or extrovert?
Very introverted.
Yeah.
Until I drink.
Yeah.
Liquid courage comes out. But,
same. Yeah.
No, I think I'm very introverted. Yeah. I don't really talk unless spoken to, I guess. I don't know.
Right. If you won $10 million tomorrow, what would you spend it on?
$10 million. Well, I'd probably pay off all my bills, buy a really cool house, buy a really cool car. Shit, I don't know.
Yeah.
Take all my friends out to dinner. Something I don't know. Something, something that's like nothing crazy. Not like hookers and blow and shit like that, but
yeah.
Be probably a little bit just like normal adult stuff, just on a much larger scale. Come on, everybody, let's go pay bills. I'll pay your bills today too. Fuck it, come on, let's go. This is
let's
how
go
we
get
roll now.
let's go get that new lawnmower, Joe.
Let's
You
do
know,
it.
I've
You
always
need an
wanted
air
these.
conditioner? Fuck it. Let's get one. We'll get you two.
It's awesome. Do you have what's your biggest pet peeve? Do you have a pet peeve?
Yeah, I've got a few. Um, I think I think the one that absolutely irritates the shit out of me, the one thing is when people walk around in public talking on speakerphone, or when they have music playing on their speakerphone, because it sounds like horrible shit. And most of the time, they're talking about some fucked up family issues that they got going on that I don't want to hear, and I'm just trying to like peacefully do my things while I'm out in public, and then you have some person over here doing that. That's what that's my pet peeve right there.
Yeah. I can
That
relate to
drives me
that.
up the wall.
It is pretty awful, you know.
Yeah, and you
I
can't
just
say anything to him because then you look like the dick.
right.
So it's like, yeah, just remove myself from the area as fast as possible.
Yeah. Danelle just commented. She said when he drinks, he becomes fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it's true. It's pretty funny. Make a huge ass out of myself.
I think we all did, though. I did that too.
Yep.
What do you think the world's gonna look like in 5 years? Do you think it's gonna be like the same, or do you think like it's gonna get weird?
5 years.
5 years, not very long.
Well, um, so 5 years. I think that's when capitalism is fully going to collapse and the economy. No, really doomsday there. In 5 years, I don't know, man. I just see a lot of
think gas is gonna get
in the news.
You think gas is going to be stupid expensive? Do you think freaking people are going to be like, screw
Yeah,
that, dude. Screw that. We're going to be running freaking electricity cars, like electric cars. Let's go. Like,
shit, I don't know if people can even afford them.
Yeah. It's crazy,
I don't know, in
dude.
5 years, I don't know. That's tough, but
yeah,
I don't know. I always tell people that if we're lucky, I think humanity has about 20 years left if we're lucky.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on.
Very doomsday of me, but I don't know.
Yeah, I feel it.
In 5 years, I'll put it to you this way: in 5 years, I hope I'm just enjoying sitting on my ass, playing with my keyboard and painting stuff.
Yeah,
that's what I want.
There we go.
5 years.
Exactly. Same. I've been writing. I've actually got on the exercise train, and like I feel weird because today I'm probably not gonna be able to do it because it's gonna be dark soon. But anyways, I usually get out. I ride my mountain bike, and I typically ride for about 11 miles a day. It's crazy. But it's one thing that I started doing lately. I don't know if but I don't know where that came from, but I was just like thinking about doomsday stuff, and like I hope later on, like in 5 years or so, I'm still riding my bike and just whatever, and just coming home and still doing my streams and just working my job and just generalizing simple things, not worrying about other crap, But if you had to eat one meal the rest of your life, what would it be?
That's easy.
Tacos? Okay.
Tacos is it. That would be it.
Okay. Nice. What would be the title of the book about you if your worst enemy wrote it?
Oh, if my worst enemy wrote it?
Yeah. If there was a book that was about you and your worst enemy wrote it, what would the title be?
God, I don't know. Probably this. Here's this asshole that thinks he can. I don't know. This dude thinks he's an artist, but he sucks, or some shit like that.
Okay. I got you. I was trying to think of one that would be for me. Probably be like this dumb ginger stream.
Uh, I'd probably be like, Jerry don't know shit.
There you go. That would be better. Jerry don't know shit.
Jerry don't know shit.
Um, here's another one. What's your favorite color and what does it say about you?
It's black. I wear black all the time. My furniture is mostly black. And what it says about me, I guess it just says that, I don't know. I just wear black. It goes well with everything, I
Yeah.
think.
Easy come, easy
So,
go. Like,
yeah.
just that's kind of what I look at it. Simple.
I
Let's
could
just,
go like real edgy and be like, it's because it matches my soul. Uh,
yeah.
but I actually do have a black soul.
Yeah.
My car is a black soul. But
That's,
yeah, anyway.
I didn't think about that. That's hilarious. I have
Yeah,
a black
it's
soul.
true. I
It's
do.
my
I have a
car.
black soul.
That's
It's out
funny.
there in the yard.
It's awesome.
It's the
That's
whole
great.
reason why I bought that car, so I can make that joke.
I'm not much of a book reader. Do you read books at all anymore? Or do you still, or have you? I never knew if you did or not.
I'm not. I'm not really big into books. Um, not much into like like fiction stuff.
Okay.
If I were gonna read something, it would be uh, like something art related or something instructional.
Gotcha.
Uh,
Okay. The
yeah,
only reasons
for
I
like
the only reasons I ask is because usually I I don't know if some people read books and some don't, but if you did read a book, I didn't know if you would recommend anything to my audience, and why, if you were a book reader. And if not, that's okay.
oh, no, I actually do have a recommendation. Hang on, let me go get it
Okay,
because I
cool.
don't remember the title of it.
Okay. Yeah, no
I'm
worries.
like walking into my living room.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
It would be. I'm actually kind of in the middle of this book. For anybody that's looking to get into art, painting, any kind of stuff like that, I highly recommend the book Color and Light by James Gurney. It has the most, like, it has such a great explanation of how light works, how we see it, and how it relates in the art world and how to interpret light. I don't know. It's pretty damn interesting.
Awesome.
That's what I would recommend.
Okay. What are probably three movies you would recommend to my audience? Is there any cool movies you
Um,
watched lately?
yeah. Um, let's see. If I were to recommend, it would be either either of the Blade Runners, uh, because the music uh, in that is super awesome. The way the shots are, what is that called? Cinematography.
Okay.
Uh, the way the movie's shot, the colors used in those movies is super awesome. And then I would say Legend from 1985
Mm-hmm.
with Tim Curry playing the devil in that. That's
Right.
a great movie.
It is.
And then one of the let's say Aliens. That's as a kid that movie scared the absolute shit out of me. And uh, the artist that created the aliens, H.R. Giger, is one of the biggest influences on me as a kid, like art wise. So, um, yeah, that one.
Isn't his like I don't know if I'm saying it right. Is it H.I. Geiger? I don't know if
It,
I'm saying it.
I've
But
heard Geiger and I've heard Giger.
okay.
Like
Doesn't
if you watch a documentary called Dark Star, everybody says Giger.
okay, okay.
So,
Doesn't he has like a museum, doesn't he? Like, and it's actually in Sweden, I thought. Isn't there like a
Switzerland.
Switzerland? Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's Switzerland.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a bar there. I don't know. I could be completely wrong where it's at, but there was a bar. I don't even think it's even open anymore.
Wow.
of like his stuff, and the seats, the walls, and everything were just made to look like just bone, skeleton, a lot of repeating patterns that he
Right.
does in his artwork.
Right.
Um, I'm sure there's a museum somewhere out there dedicated to his work.
Yeah. He's
In
done a
fact, I think
ton.
his whole house could be a museum, honestly.
Yeah. I've seen some super cool stuff that he's done. He's done a lot for a lot of artists too, like music artists as well. So um I think he's even I've seen some like I think microphone stands he's designed for people too as well.
Yeah,
So
he did Jonathan Davis's
yeah.
microphone stand,
Yeah.
and then there's like some other. I I I want to say it was Debbie Harry
Hmm.
that he did a photo shoot with her in a bodysuit that was all biomechanical, and uh, I'm drawing a blank now of this band you would not think. I got to look it up. Yeah, here we go. He did Debbie Harry, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, like Celtic Frost, Danzig. I just had
Yeah.
to do a quick Google search on that because it was bothering me. But yeah, he's done quite a few
He has.
album covers.
Yeah, he has. Is there any like current music that you're listening to that, you know, whether it be new or old or whatnot, that you're like, if there's 3 albums that you're listening to or 3 artists, if that, that you listen to, who would you recommend right now?
Cult of Luna is freaking awesome. Uh, I just recently discovered them. Uh, they're out of Sweden. They're kind of a doom type sound, I guess.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, I'm really into Cult of Luna right now. There's an electronic band called Priest that just released a new album. I'm really into listening to them. And let's see, and then there's this other band, Orbit Culture, that I recently discovered. So uh, those are the three newest uh, bands that I've like happened on that I've really been into, especially
Okay.
Cult of Luna. If you guys never heard of Cult of Luna, that's a pretty awesome band.
There you
I listen
go.
to that when I'm working,
Nice.
helping people fix their computer problems, and there's this guy in the background, just like, okay, yeah, this is gonna do it. This is gonna get me through my day.
Awesome. Awesome. So my last question I like to ask everybody at the end of my interviews is, what is a question you wished I would have asked you, and what would be the answer to that question?
um, it would have been, do you want to come ride your skateboard with me while I'm riding my bike? And I would have been like, yeah, because maybe you can pull my fat ass on your bike while I stand on my skateboard for 11 miles.
Yeah, that's a pretty good answer and a great
So,
question. So yeah, yeah, I
but
would
for real
definitely.
though, I would
I,
be totally down to do that. I'll bring
yeah,
my board.
that's cool. Yeah, yeah, I've noticed you've posted a few pictures of you going like to it's the downtown area there, aren't you, in Tulsa that you're riding your bike or bike your
Uh,
skateboard?
no, it's not quite downtown. It's Riverside,
Oh, okay,
and
okay.
yeah, there's a lot of people that longboard through there, and um, I've always skated, since I was in high school, and for health reasons, being active and stuff, I picked it back up, and I was actually very surprised to see that there's a lot of like dudes our age
Yeah,
out riding on longboards and shit.
that's awesome.
So now I don't feel as stupid doing
Right,
it.
right, right, right.
but but I enjoy the hell out of it, and that's where I go. There's some hills that I'll try to go down really fast. Crashed into a barbed wire fence along
Oh,
Riverside. That was cool.
damn.
Yeah,
Yikes.
I've fallen a few times out there. people just look at me like, oh shit, they just keep on jogging.
Damn. Yeah, that's. I mean, yeah. I mean, I couldn't. I used to be that kid that wanted to skateboard but couldn't. I would actually get on skateboards on driveways. Like there would be like places that I've lived through my life. I would have like these cheap skateboards and driveways that would have like an angle to them, and
Mm-hmm.
I would sit on them. I would do that kind of stuff, and then I would stand on them as they'd go down. But dude, when you got to the point where I was like having to push myself and doing that kind of thing, that's where I'd just crash and burn, dude, every time.
Yeah.
Like I just couldn't do it. I just never could do it, dude.
It takes a, if you've never been on one, it takes a little bit of time to find your balance on them.
Yeah.
I mean, because you know, humans just don't have wheels on their feet.
Right.
Yeah. Naturally. So
yeah. It's the same thing with skating. Like I tried all that stuff and I suck at it. But like, give me a bike, man. I'm all about it, dude. I actually grew up in Edmond, and it was Matt Hoffman had his own half pipe not too far from where my house is now and where I grew up around. And I used to go over to his half pipe and ride my freestyle bike, and I learned to freestyle there, and wasn't that good at it, but I could hang, you know what I mean? Like I wasn't like amazing, but I had fun. And I'd crash sometimes, but
if you want to bring your bike up here, the gathering place has a couple of pump tracks.
Okay.
So I haven't quite, developed the testicular fortitude to get on that with my longboard yet.
Right.
But it looks super fun. There's a lot of people out there with boards and bikes all out there on that pump track, just going around it, going super fast.
So yeah, I would have to get something like, I don't know, like right now I have a mountain bike, so I don't really like, I've gone through a few trails that are out here. There's like one in Midwest City I still want to go to, but for the most part I literally just like ride around Lake Hefner, and then there's like a big park where they did a skate park there too as well, which is in Edmond. It's called Mitch Park, and I go out there. I'll literally like drive out there because it's like probably not even 3 miles from my house, and get all set up there, and I just ride around it, dude. It's like 2.5 miles every time around it, and I usually ride it about four times, so it's like 11 miles, and it's really awesome. Actually, it's got like I want to say like a 270 foot elevation difference, so it's like get a workout, man, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
I would probably go downhill one way on my skateboard.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to push a skateboard up a hill like that.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't want to. That's for sure. It's usually
that's just where you come in, where you pull me up.
You're right. Heck yeah. Do you have any ending questions or thoughts or comments or anything you want to say before we end the stream?
No, man. It was really good to talk to you after not seeing or talking to you after so many years.
It's been a while. Yeah.
And it makes me really happy that you're doing this thing, and I enjoy watching it. I can tell you enjoy doing it. So
I appreciate that.
Hopefully, it's really cool what you're doing. So I'll definitely keep in touch more than I have, and
okay.
I will definitely make it to that OKC area, and maybe you and I can like go get a coffee or a tea or something, and catch up even more.
That'd be awesome, man. And I wouldn't mind if we could meet you halfway or whatnot. It doesn't necessarily have to be all the way here in OKC, but I appreciate you, Shaun, being on the show. I see you come in and comment and stuff on other people I'm talking to, and I think this is just kind of a good outlet for everybody and anyone to kind of come to that's part of arts and entertainment and anything, to collectively talk about things or hang out and connect and that's pretty much all I really want out of it. So I appreciate all the positive feedback. Thank you so much, Shaun, for taking your time out of your day as well to be here and hang out with me too. I appreciate it very much. Well, guys, that was it. I appreciate you guys sticking around and checking out the full video. Thank you so much for your support. I appreciate it very much, guys. And again, if you guys want to check out and see more of these videos, go ahead and hit that subscribe button here on YouTube and make sure you hit that bell notification. That way you guys get notified anytime I upload a new video. And if you guys want to check these out live, just head on over to my Facebook page at Jerry Lowlife Interviews on Facebook. Hit that follow button and you'll get notified anytime I post a new event that will be coming up. And I usually do those every Friday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end the video. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you very, very much. Oh, and also, if you guys need more information about Shaun Jackson or need to contact him about anything, if you have questions about paintings, any questions you have, I'm going to have his social links in the description below this video. So feel free to send him a message. I'm sure he'd love to hear from you. Anyways, thank you guys so much. And thank you to Shaun Jackson for taking time out of your day to be on my show. You guys have a wonderful time and a good day. Take care, and thank you again for your support. See you guys later.